Hello my friend, myself Satish Vanapalli. Thank you very much for watching this video. Here is my website pegaks.com where you can find interesting topics with step-by-step explanations. You can use this search feature to find articles, and also you can view a random post by clicking on this random post icon. There is also a live chat available on my blog where you can directly chat with me. Most of the times I'll try to be online so that you can directly ask your questions via this live chat. And most importantly, sign up to my blog so that whenever I publish a new article, you will get notified via email. You can follow me on Facebook page facebook.com/pegaks, and also do subscribe my YouTube channel so that whenever a new video get published, you will get a notification. Let's get started with the today's topic.
In today's topic, we are going to discuss about how to configure your extract rule so that it will extract the data from Pega database and directly write it into your target database. Navigate to your extract rule. In the output format, select database schema. Once you select the database schema, the options will be changed in under your file specification. In my database server, I have already created an external database. So there is a Postgres database. So this is your default database from your personal edition. So first you have to create a database rule. Enter the name like external DB. Click on this icon to create a new rule, database rule. Click create and open. So now this is your database rule. Now you have to connect to your external database. So these are the various ways that you can connect to your external database. For this demo, I'm using JDBC URL. So for this Postgres, this is the standard format for the Postgres JDBC URL. This is different if you are using Oracle database. Now copy this JDBC URL, paste under JDBC URL. Now you need to specify the username and the password. If you can right click on the database and you can see the properties. So the owner is Postgres. So the user is Postgres. Now you can specify the username Postgres, and for that user the password is also same Postgres. Now click on save. Once the rule form is saved, click on test connection to verify the connection. Now go back to your extract rule. From this extract rule also you can do a test connectivity. Now check this checkbox if you want to include a manifest like extract summary and the summary details. For this demo, I am using the same database to write the manifest summary and manifest details. You can click on test connectivity to verify the test connection. So everything is success. Click on close to close this window. Now navigate back to your definition tab. Click on the gear icon to open the configurations. And if you see, this is the to table, which means every extract you have a main table. So this is the main table of your entire extract rule. So I gave my main table name as general request cases because this extract will extract all my general request cases. Now click on submit. If you see the page property, there is no to table option for your page property, which means whatever the properties that are included under your page property, those data should also go into your main table. Now coming back to your page list, if you select the page list property, you have a to table option, which means you have to give a separate table for your page list because each page list can contain multiple records. So that is why your all page list properties will have a dedicated separated tables. This key name column which holds your page list ID. Click submit to close this window. If you want to generate the DDL and DML of your extract rule, then you can generate by click on this run option. Once the pop-up is loaded, you can see an option like generate schema DDL and generate manifest schema DDL. You can select this checkbox. You need to specify the path where this generated schema DDL will be stored. Now let's go back to your personal edition, and this is the path, and enter the file name. Here general request manifest. So once you specified this path, you can click on perform extract. It's successfully completed. Now let's see what DDL generated. And in the path you can see the two files, general request DDL and the request manifest DDL SQL files gets generated. Now let's open this. You can see the message, the following create statement should be uncommented before running the script in the destination tables. So we can run this DDL to create the tables. Right click on your relational database, you can click on query tool to open. Now you can paste the DDL. Uncomment. Now click run icon to create these tables. I have already executed this query, so that's why it is saying that table already exists. But if you have not created the table, this will create your tables. Now let's inspect the manifest file. And this manifest file create a extract summary and the extract details tables. Now let's execute this manifest DDL also. Let's execute. This also I have already executed, so that's why it is saying its table already exists. If the table is not exist, it will create those tables. Right click on your database and click on refresh. And under schemas, you can see the public schema. Under public schema, you can expand your tables. You see all the 4 tables gets generated. Once you created the tables, now you can run your extract again to extract the data. Click on perform extract. And you can see the extraction was completed and the total number of records processed 1. Now let's verify the data is inserted into your database or not. You can right click on this table. Under script category, click on select a script, where you can execute this query. And if you see, the data was inserted into the table. So what are the properties that we are included on the extract rule? The data will be persisted accordingly. And you can see this is the page list table. You can under scripts, click on select a script, and you can query this table to see the record inserted. And if you see, this is the key name of your page list which holds your page list number. So your parent table and child table will be related based on your PGINS key. And coming to the extract summary, let's query this extract summary table. Click on select a script and you can execute this command. And this summary table where you can see extract identifier, nothing but your extract rule, and the application, and the extract date time when it was extracted, and the total class instances. This will tell you that how many instances it is extracted in this particular run, and also the extract end time and the elapsed time. And there is one more column, failed class instances. In some cases we might have some data issues, so that cases will fail to an extraction. So in that case you can see that how many instances are failed. Now let's quickly verify the extract details table. This extract details table will give you the tables information, this particular extract. So what all tables it is updated. In the filter criteria tab, you can use these filter conditions. You can use this standard criteria, or you can write your own criteria. So this is how we need to configure our extract rule, which will directly insert records into the external database. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact. We'll see you in the next video.